I just watched the movie Rental Family. It's all about life in Japan, and I've lived in Japan for almost 4 years, so let's give it a movie review. Now there will be spoilers ahead, so there is a warning. Let's get into the movie. The movie shows a somewhat struggling actor who has lived in Japan for about 7 years. He goes to work for a rental agency in Tokyo. His job is to pretend to be different people depending on who the client wants. In one job, he pretends to be a 12-year-old girl's dad, so that she can get into a good private school. In another job, he is a husband so that a woman can get married to leave her family and get married to another lady secretly. And in some jobs, he is just a friend to someone to hang out with. The movie for me was entertaining, and I even did tear up 2 times during the movie, so it is definitely worth a watch. The cinematography was banging. The shots were great. Whoever did the camera work, my hat goes off to you. Every shot of Japan was great. They showed different areas of Japan, the coast, the ferries, the train. Oh, it's wonderful. I do have to say though, there was one part where they did go on a big journey through the countryside and did a whole traveling montage. It was great shot after great shot, and I did think during that bit, okay, you're just showing off now. Let's get back to the movie, please. This is getting on a little bit. Acting in the movie was good, especially from Akira Imoto. He killed it. He had me in tears twice in the movie. His character was perfectly written, and it made me think of a lot of older Japanese people that I have met. He played a famous actor who had dementia and who was now struggling with his life, starting to forget everything. The other cast in the movie's acting was good. There were things about Brendan Fraser's character that didn't always make sense to me after living in Japan, but I think that was more to do with the writing than his actual acting, and I think he played the role well. The movie is a great watch if you like Brendan Fraser or if you like movies about Japan. You will definitely enjoy this. Ever since The Whale, I've been really happy to see Brendan Fraser do some roles I wouldn't have expected from him 10 years ago. Should it win any awards? Probably for cinematography and for Akira Imoto's performances, but that's about it. Now there were a few things that bugged me about the movie, and some had to do with the story and some had to do with living in Japan, so let's go through them now. Number 1 is how the girl dealt with finding out that Brendan Fraser isn't her real dad. Now this would normally screw a child up for life. Imagine being 11 or 12, meeting your dad, hanging around with him for 3 weeks, you start to get attached, and then bang, you find out he isn't your dad and your mum lied to you just so that you can get into a private school. What the fuck? This mum needs to be locked away forever. This is the type of thing as a parent you should go to prison for, and I also think the actor should go to prison for. How is this girl going to be able to trust anyone after this again? I don't know. Absolutely crazy, absolutely madness, but there we go. And also, as a teacher and someone who reads the horrors of creepy adults in Japan, who is Brendan Fraser? Has he been background checked? He's 50 years old. You've known him for a couple days, he doesn't have any kids, but sure, hang around with a 12-year-old girl alone. Go take her to team labs, have a great time. That won't end badly. Negligence, anyone? Negligence? No? No, just me, okay. Number 2 has to do with his celebrity status, and I actually think the plot kind of mentioned this. I don't think a rental company would ever use Phillip, played by Brendan Fraser, for the jobs that he went on, because he was kind of a celebrity in that world. He had been in a few minor TV things, some commercials, even enough that he was recognised by someone who works for the company because of an ad he did to do with toothpaste. And if you're going to go around lying to people about your name, what your job is, you don't want to have someone who will probably have an IMDb page, a movie page, a Wikipedia page. You don't want someone like that. You want effectively a nobody, unless you're marketing him out as hanging out with a micro celebrity. Otherwise, I don't think he would get used at all because it would just be too risky. And number 3 has to do with Brendan Fraser's character's inexperience and experience with Japan. This really bugged me. Brendan Fraser's character at times seems to have no experience with Japanese culture at all whatsoever. And then in other scenes, he seems to follow Japanese culture to a T and understands everything that's going on. The movie says he's lived in Japan for 7 years, and at this point, you will understand Japan pretty well. I've only been in Japan for 3.5 years, and I understood what was going on in pretty much all of this movie things that were going on. So I was surprised that he was like shocked at certain certain things, even though at this point he should know Japan pretty well. He also seems to know Japanese people. He goes to the bar regularly enough that the bartender and him seem friendly. He speaks good Japanese, at least enough that he could have good conversations with people. You know, he had good conversations in Japanese with the guy who has dementia in the movie. He has got a weird soapland girl that he seems to see regularly enough, so that communication would be weird, which also I was kind of disappointed in the movie having her in it. I think the movie did kind of glorify the whole soapland girl thing, and I'll never understand people who use them, but hey ho, that's something for another time. In the movie there is a line where a lady says to Brendan Fraser, "You'll never understand Japan, you are a gaijin," which I kind of thought was just put there for the trailer. She kind of mentions it and then it's never really brought up again in the movie. Like, what did Brendan Fraser need to learn about Japan in the end? Maybe I missed something. Maybe he learned if you go outside and talk to people, instead of staring out the window at night, Japanese people are like all people, they have lives and problems and complicated relationships. Like, what did he have to learn? When you actually think about the movie, there is no reason that the same script couldn't be used in somewhere like the UK, but maybe I was missing something. Oh, I must admit, I was sick when I was watching the movie. I had a fever when I was going through it, so I might have missed something here, but I was kind of like, oh, why did they just throw this line in? Because when you think about it, these rental companies do exist outside of Japan, and every single story that went through could have happened in the UK, I think, for most of them. What do you think? Let me know. Number 4 that bugged me about the movie is Brendan Fraser's clothes. Good Lord, he wears some ugly clothes and uncomfortable clothes during that movie. He always wears some ugly suit jackets with jumpers underneath, all very, very not cool. But the clothes do fit the time, so guessing by the clothes in the movie and by the timeline of the child going to school, it would have been set somewhere between January and April, which does line up with the school calendar absolutely perfectly. I also think Brendan Fraser would die in a Japanese summer. Perhaps they also made the clothes ugly to make him look like even more of an outsider, but there we go. And the next thing that bugged me about the movie was the Japanese and English switching. I found at times the movie would jump from Japanese to English in some very weird places. Like Brendan Fraser would have a full conversation in Japanese, listen to a full conversation in complicated Japanese, and then all of a sudden he'd say something like, "Why?" in English instead of Japanese. But I get it, the movie was trying to bridge 2 languages in one movie. This is more marketed towards people outside of Japan, and that it can get messy sometimes. It can also happen when you are talking to someone who speaks both English and Japanese. You will speak a mixture of English and Japanese, especially when your level is lower, like mine. But in real life, at the level that he had, which is better than mine, I don't think he would switch so much, especially not to an old man with dementia, but hey, there we go. So my final review, what is the score and would I watch it again? The rating I give the movie is an 8 out of 10. I would watch the movie again, and if someone said they hadn't seen it and said, "Did I want to watch it?" I'd say, yeah, let's give it a watch. But what did you think about the movie? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know if there are any other Japanese movies that you would like me to watch or comment on. I have also made a separate movie where I break down some of the Japanese culture that is in the original movie, and if you want to learn things about hikikomoris, abandoned houses, soapland, girls, bars, for all you weebs out there, be sure to give it a watch, like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.